certification. The buyer has 15 days from getting a copy of the seller's passing inspection to have their own inspection.
Okay.
So if you as a seller had it inspected 2 years ago, you give me a copy of that within 15 days of the ratified contract. I as a buyer say, well, this was 2 years ago. That's not acceptable to me. I now have 15 days to get my own septic inspection.
Okay, and if they're cool with it, they're cool with it.
Right, they should all be cool with it.
All right.
Now, here's another thing about this. If your seller, if you're on the listing side and your seller refuses to do the septic inspection, first of all, you should be preparing them at listing appointments to begin with when you're talking about pricing and proceeds, that this is something that they're gonna have to do because the law changed beginning in 2014, requiring these to be done at the point of sale, and then our contract changed saying it's a seller's obligation. So when they bought the house, buyer had to pay for it, now they're selling the house, they had to pay for it again. So, if your seller refuses to pay for it, you must completely cross out this paragraph, okay? Just having NA or no or nothing there does not eliminate the seller's obligation. All that does is say they can get it to you whenever they want, because that paragraph says the seller will provide. It is not a
You do that on the listing?
option. No, because that's not on the buyers, on the offer. So if you get an offer from someone on your listing, and they're asking the seller to do they're saying, they're not asking, they're saying it says the seller's going to do it.
Right.
You know, you're countering, you have to completely X out this entire paragraph.
Right, okay.
And initial next to it. You cannot just write NA or no, or, you know, not gonna do it. You do have to, because the paragraph, the language that it states says the seller will, so you have to completely eliminate that paragraph.
Which one?
The 22A, where it talks about the seller
Okay.
doing these. Get your glasses, woman.
I'm
Okay, everybody understand? Because we ran into that early on when this first came out, and resolved that way with help of attorneys. So that's all I'm going to touch base on that. Like I said, I'm not really going to go through the contract. We're kind of on our time anyways. The other thing I wanted to point out real quick to you guys too is agency disclosure. You know, we are all Vicart First Class. So make sure that if you are selling, you know, somebody else's listing in the office, that you are making sure that you were writing that we are Vicart First Class is a dual agent. The brokerage is a dual agent. You as a listing agent or a buyer's agent can be the designated agent. If you are selling a house that I have listed or I am selling one of your houses, then I am always dual agent. And I'm the only one as broker. So, and I think other than that, that was all I really wanted to point out. Oh, this I didn't show this to you guys. First of all, and this is gonna go out in a PDF too for everybody. Did I send out last week's?
No, I was going to bring that up.
I double checked last night in my sent folder. I was like, I don't think I did. I know I saved it to send, I just didn't. So I'll send them both out today. So this is what you need for every offer. You need a data sheet. You need a pre-approval letter. You need a copy of an escrow check. You need a sales agreement. You need any amendments, VA or FHA, other amendments. Or is there a short sale? Seller's disclosures, including the lead-based paint and radon. And the CIS. Notice, I did not attach the CIS to this. You do not need to send the listing agent the CIS. That's for us. Okay? So that's the only, so there's 7 things that you need to have in every contract, in every offer. Okay, so real quick I wanted to show you guys this. In Zip Forms, when you're preparing an offer in additional terms, you get this little pencil that pops up. When you click on that little pencil, this pops up. When you click on this little book here, this pops up. So you can have, there's several templates in here. So there's going to be more. Right now there's only a couple. So if you category under buyer, and if you put the title is closing assistance, this automatically, seller to pay $5,000 towards buyer's closing cost settlement. At settlement, including not limited to prepaid, appraisal, inspection, surveys, mortgage. The reason you have this additional language is because if you have a VA buyer and they're looking to actually really do no money down and they want to get their escrow check back or money from their inspections back at closing, they can. But if you don't have this additional language in here and somebody wants to argue with the buyer getting money back at closing, if the seller inside wants to argue, the sellers could win that argument because these may not be considered traditional closing costs. So you wanna make sure you just have that complete language in there when you're asking for closing assistance. So if you just use that little tool, you can just drop it in there and then you can just change the amount. And there's also one for, in the listing documents, for if you're gonna include a home warranty, and there will be some additional things I have in a separate sheet right now that I have to add in there still. Cake Carson barbecue this Thursday. You guys are all going?
Are you guys all going?
Who's going?
I'm going.
One.
It's
Go
not-
ahead, wake up.
But I'm going away.
You're going away, like,
Ellen's my
you're gonna
mom's
leave in a police
birthday.
car, or
Ellen-
what?
Yeah. Okay.
I could. I'm not sure if I am.
You are going?
So, unfortunately, I won't be able to be there, but you guys have fun. I think from what I understand, there's 15 of us going, so that should be a good time.
You are going?
I'm not going.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
She's supposed to be going. Somebody's supposed to pin her. Oh, Dick Brogan's gonna pin her. She's getting her 10 years. Yes, but it's my daughter's birthday and I just can't. So, it's just not right. So, have fun. That's it. Any questions?
Seller to pay for,
Yeah, on this,
no, I'm just saying that's true. Sometimes I just,
the seller, on a vehicle, the seller is supposed to pay for the termite, yes.
well, thank goodness Miss Ruiz knew what she was doing.
Yeah, so a lot of people don't.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yes.
We need serious education, man.
We're working on it.
I know.
A lot of education.
That's
a lot to know, though.
I didn't know that.
Right.
I thought they were giving me a courtity, so I just kind of went with the, not even a
I don't know where it is
courtesy
either.
with them,
I was
so I
ask
thought there
Siri.
was some
She'll tell me.
something going on in benefit.
She knows all.
So I was like, oh.
The
She's not as good
refinancing, it's
Oh,
it's
God,
just
here we go.
but not even
Look at Siri. Oh, it's something.
that. I would, then I'm
You hear
supportive.
that? You're sitting there and smirk now. You see